Good morning. I hope you're well. My name is Jerome, and this is Spirituality 2. Got some interesting comments yesterday regarding being human, regarding spiritual bliss, and how to recognize our humanity is kind of maybe evil or egotistic on a planetary scale, on that spiritual scale somehow. I don't know, but I don't know. We are different. You can assume we are just another animal and we are misguided somehow if you want, but we aren't another animal. If it is to be believed, we are made in the image of God. And that's kind of what this video is about. It's about believing in God. It's about faith, what that means, what it means to have faith and to believe in God. As humans, because of our higher understanding of things around us, we oftentimes run into situations where we don't understand what's going on. And many of those situations involve other humans. And I think that we need, if you will, a higher power. Just like in the I Ching, it talked about a third conflict, because it is basically a battle between our lower self and our higher self. I call it the ego and the superior man. The ego is the small child. Is it evil? No. It is necessary. But it needs, like I keep saying, to be in its proper place. And maybe it is possible that the very act of me making these videos is pure egotism. It really could be. And if it is, so be it. The message that I'm trying to get out there is, more than anything, my friends, a message that I can look back on and remember and remind myself, if you will, to stay on course. The course I've chosen is very difficult. Excuse me. It is very difficult. And it's fraught with danger, and it's fraught with personal disasters, disasters with people, but every single thing I'm learning from. And through it all, I have seen a certain magical power from the universe. I have evolved spiritually, and I would refer to that as God. So do I believe in God? Excuse me. George Peterson was asked, Jordan Peterson has been asked that question. And Jordan Peterson's answer is, well, I behave as though I believe in God. And everybody's like, well, do you believe in God or not? He says, well, I behave like I believe in God. Believing in God, that is an entire thing all by itself, and can't be answered in any one question. What is God? It varies from person to person. So basically, you are your actions. It was his answer. Your actions are who you are. And so if you behave and act as if God is real and you believe in God, then isn't that kind of the same thing? Can anybody ever say for sure, yeah, there's a God. Yeah, there's something out there. Yeah, there's something that happens when you die. You get up and walk out of your body and go visit your relatives and all that. Well, my experience, my friends, with epilepsy, believe it or not, I believe that when you have a really severe epileptic seizure, you die. It's basically the consciousness just goes away. It goes away. You know, when I'm in the middle of a seizure, you could dip my hand in hot oil and I might repel from it automatically, but I wouldn't be like, ow, ow, ow. I am not there. It's just a body flopping around, short-circuiting. This consciousness, the psyche, goes away. It's like I'm there. Next minute I wake up and I'm like, oh, I feel like shit. Oh, I bit my tongue. What happened? I pissed my pants. One time I pissed my pants. That's how hard I seized. And it's every time, it's just like lights out. And when I come back, lights back on. And that has really led me to think, well, is that what it's like when you die? Is it just like all of a sudden, boop, lights out? That's it. It very well could be. That seems most logical and scientific, that when the energy, whatever you want to call that resides within and operates within the body goes away, then it's just like the energy in anything else. It just disperses and goes away. It very well could be that there is a soul. The soul resides within our body while we're alive, and it's affected by our neurons and our experiences and our body chemistry, and that kind of determines whether we're a good or bad person, I think. But it very well could be that the soul only exists if the body exists. If the functioning of the body stops, the soul just goes back into energy. You know, none of the experiences that I've had with near death or virtual death in the case of an epileptic seizure have been get up out of my body and walk along and experience things still, be conscious still. Consciousness is a virtue of a living brain. And without a living brain, the consciousness just goes away. I believe this. Now, as far as believing in God, what could you call God? God is that higher power in the universe which makes all things possible, that creates all things. It causes things through the forces of nature to be created. You know, our planet is, like I keep saying, another good example of that, of the miracle of just the right time, at the right place, with the right elements, right amount of sunshine. You get life. DNA forms. That's just, I think, what happens. Is it a miracle? Is it some guy sitting up there on a throne going, I'm going to build this ball out of rock and we're going to put humans on it? Because humans are the only ones that really matter, right? Think about it. How logical is that? It's not logical. And I guess that's where faith comes in, right? Faith is that inner belief in something, even though it doesn't make sense. Faith is believing that when you die, your soul gets up out of your body or ascends to heaven or something like that, and you maintain your being, you maintain your consciousness, and you get to meet God or you get to meet Jesus. It's not just lights out. That's faith. Faith is believing that there has to be some higher power. Call it whatever you want. Jehovah, God, Yahweh, there's, I don't know how many different names that different cultures around the world have given this power of the universe, this almighty power of ultimate creation, which works together with the receptivity at the right time in the right place with the earth to create things as we know them, as our consciousness perceives them. So I think that there is a person who found this channel. He's my uncle. And he follows me around and says, kind of like, never a good comment. Always like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're delusional, this and that. And maybe I am. Like I have, again, keep saying, this is a therapeutic process for me as well. I need to look back and hear what bullshit is coming out of my mouth so that I can hopefully correct myself. A mirror. This is acting, if you will, as a mirror for me to see how I behave. But my uncle left a comment and then immediately deleted it. It's like he needs to but he can't really do it. I don't understand. But yeah, Tom, if you're listening, welcome. Please give me a good comment. Please show a little love, dude. Remember, we used to eat acid together and run around up in the mountains in Colorado, go to the park, throw frisbees. That one summer we had so much fun. So yeah, forgive, forget, move on. I'm not anymore. I'm not angry at my Uncle Tom. I'm not. I don't understand his behavior, but I have faith that deep down in his heart, he wouldn't bother to even try to find my channel or make a comment on my channel if he wasn't thinking about me, if I wasn't in his soul somehow. So that's okay. But basically, he said, saying that humanity is special is pure egotism. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? We are special, just like I was saying a minute ago. Yeah, we think we're special, even though there's been a whole series of evolutions of life on this planet that happened way, way, way before we were around. When they say that we evolved out of Lucy and that clan, we sure somehow magically evolved way different than every other species on the planet, didn't we? With our intelligence and our big giant brains. Damn near our biggest organ is our brain. So God, the universe, whatever power you want to call it, did make us different. And we are special. We're special not only because we're beautiful, but also because look at the destruction that we can create. No other species is able to just eliminate an entire forest. No other species can dig disgusting, filthy elements out of the earth and then spew them into the atmosphere. No other species can create roads and vehicles and other things which pollute and destroy the environment. No other species can dam a river to the point where it becomes a reservoir and destroy miles and miles and miles of habitat all around there. Destroy? Who are we to say what's destroying? Once again, pure egotism. You're right. That's the battle. But I think that perhaps acknowledging that we are different can help bring some wisdom and make us understand just how important we are. And how if we don't get a hold of our destructive side, our ego, really, our egotistical side, the side that says, it's all about me. Manufacturing, vehicles, electricity, think about it, without electricity. No other animal has ever created electricity, understands magnetics, thermodynamics, nuclear fusion, nuclear fission. No other species has the capability of that. We are special. And we are beautiful. Humanity is a beautiful thing. It has the potential to transcend itself, its own self, its own ego, if you will. The combined ego of humanity thinking that we're special. And I guess when you think that way, you take on a certain responsibility then, right? It's like, well, I have to be special. If I think I'm special, then I better do something to be special, you know. And perhaps we'll see that we have the potential for destruction, or we can be beautiful, either way. As long as we're patient, forgiving, and are able to learn our lessons and move on from them without holding on to that anger. You know, it was very therapeutic for me to listen to my own thing about letting go and forgetting, which is why I'm able to forgive my uncle, who I love very much. And instead of thinking about how you've hurt my feelings, I'm going to think about the good things that we did together, because that's what's really important. And in the end, it may just be lights out. I don't know. Nobody knows, right? Pig upon pig, pig. Nobody knows. Well, maybe somebody knows, because apparently Jesus brought a guy back to life. Jesus would know. He came back to life. You know, imagine what that death would be like. Imagine having somebody drive a railroad spike through the palm of your hand into a railroad tie. Not once, but twice, and then your feet. Imagine the pain level of that, and then being hung by them until you die, and whipped with thorns, like some of these raspberry things around here. You can make a nasty whip that would cut people. Man, humanity has the potential to be very, very nasty, ugly, and destructive. I don't know if any of this even made any sense. So do I believe in God? Much like Jordan Peterson, I'm going to behave as if, I'm going to act as if that I believe there is God, there is a higher power. There is. I don't know what it is. Do I believe that somehow magically when I die I'm going to be whisked away in my conscious form without the body somehow to another place? No. Without a brain, the consciousness ceases really to exist. Done. I know. I've had my brain overload and kick my consciousness right out of there. And it wasn't like unpleasant. I didn't even know it. It was like I'm sitting there 1 minute and then the next minute I'm coming to. And in between, it's, how long has it been? Oh, like 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours? Wow, that got me to thinking. I wonder if that's what dying's like. And in a way, it took away the fear. Because, well, if that's what dying's like, it didn't hurt. It was just like poof, gone. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows, right? To assume that you know, based upon faith, some say, is pure egotism. Could be. Could be. It could be that our humanity is the very thing that creates our own ego, if you will. And other creatures don't suffer from this the way that we do. Which is why pig upon pig, pig keeps saying, you need to release yourself from, if you want bliss, you have to release yourself from your humanity. And again, I don't want bliss. I prefer this. I prefer the struggle of life over the blissful existence of a creature. A good example would be a dog. You know, a little dog that has its lady or man that it's always with, and it's constantly just happy. If you give it a snack, pure bliss. It's not worried really about anything. It's not concerned about anything. It's not thinking about death. It's not thinking about what happens. It's not thinking about God. In many ways, a little lapdog is just pure ego. In some ways, it's like, oh yeah, me, I'm me, I'm me, I'm me. Pick me up, keep me warm. Don't leave me. It's all about me. So, is pure egotism actually a form of bliss? I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm all knowing here. Okay, I'm just positing ideas. And if you guys want to listen and pig upon pig, if you're still listening, I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your comments as well. My name is Jerome, and this is Spirituality 2. Have a good morning. And my other channel, by the way, is called The Sane Realist. So you can look me up there. Have a good morning.